about doing film noir or book noir
Yeah.
type of stories is that the characters are so psychological, you know. They
Yeah.
have a past, they have a present, they're very cerebral, and you have to
Yeah.
follow that as an acting experience. It must have been fun.
Cerebral acting, I think, is, kind of, I think, where I come from, I hope. So yeah, I mean, this is I love noir films. I watched every noir film I could get my hands on before doing this film, and yeah, I think this film is kind of classic, but it's like a modern version of the classics, you know.
Well, you've done things quite properly because you took a break from acting in order for you to refresh the career and do things like that. You feel you've achieved something you've been planning on doing with roles like this one?
I'm a terrible planner, but I mean, this is something that I've always wanted to move into a realm where the character is a complex, has a complex nature. And when you're young, it's very hard to find those characters. There's one every couple of years where there's a very young person who has has a great character. So to find those really complex roles, I think I just needed a little bit of time,
And maturing as well. And
well, I mean, when I was younger, I was able to find them occasionally, like in Virgin Suicides or O.
True.
But most of the time, I had to play kind of the simple, normal, heroic guy, and the directors didn't want anything else from me. So it wasn't really my fault that I couldn't create great characters, It was like, it's what's forced on you. So I was frustrated with that, and I took a bunch of steps back from Hollywood in order to find a new path,
Yeah, which I think is the right one.
Oh,
I
good.
mean, in this one, it's quite an ensemble piece, but it's also, a director that knows exactly what his vision is.
Sure.
Is that something you enjoy,
Absolutely. Everybody should know what they
absolute-
want to do. I mean, it's a collaborative art form, but everybody has to bring something to the table. And this is it's a director's medium. So if the director doesn't know what they want to do, then you should run away quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, film festivals are for a little bit of absurd experiences because of their context.
Yeah.
Is it your first time in Venice, and what can you tell us about what happens behind the scenes that might be a little bit odd to you?
Well, Venice is pretty relaxed. I love it compared to Sundance or Cannes, where Cannes you can't even leave your hotel room. It's the paparazzi are everywhere, and it's always a party, which is kind of exciting. But here, Venice, it's a little bit more relaxed, it's a little bit more elegant, and I think it's focused completely on the films themselves. I think people are very serious about the films that are in the festival here, and I love that. That's cool.
Well, you play a boxer in the film,
Yeah.
which always, in an acting experience, does entitle the training. It's a boxer turned cop. But is it true for every single part that is about boxers that the physical training comes with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very difficult thing to become a boxer.
Absolutely.
And I liked it. I liked the challenge of it, and I spent 7 months in the gym, which was way too much. I didn't have to do that, but I spent more time than I needed to because I really liked it, and I felt like it was a good inlet to how the character kind of sees the world. And as a boxer, it kind of helped me understand the character a little bit more. As a boxer, if you're a very smart boxer, you wait until somebody else screws up before you hold them off, but you don't really do anything. You don't really go after them until they screw up, and you're always watching. And that's who I wanted to play the character, just always watching, always waiting, and then eventually striking in this particular case, because everything was upside down, left was right, up was down, and he was so implicated in it, he acts too late, essentially, and loses his friend, loses himself, basically. He's going to be haunted for the rest of his life, and that's what I like. It's a tragic story,
Coming back to the psychological aspect of
Absolutely.
films like that. Well, because you're a more down-to-earth Hollywood actor than others of your generation, do you find it strange that every time, you're in a movie with a couple of pretty girls, the paparazzis are over you for the wrong reasons? Especially in this case, of course.
Yeah, well, I think that I don't think there's any right reason for paparazzi to be all over you. But I think that it's scandal or gossip gets in the way sometimes of promoting films, and I think that this film, I really appreciate this film, so I want to put it front and center and just focus on the work and you know, what a great job Brian did adapting this book. I mean, and Josh Friedman, they really did a terrific job, and Elroy's book itself was so phenomenal, and I just hope we did it justice.